This is fine. Everything's fine. Everything's not on fire. This is fine. Everything's gonna be okay. My world's definitely not burning down around me. And it's definitely not getting worse. Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to today's video. We are here in the lovely 1.17 snapshots. As you can see from behind me, we have a lot of really amazing new blocks to work with, so I figured that we could do a bit of like a building type deal, and I could show you a few ideas that I have for some new cave bases that we'll be seeing a lot of in the 1.17 update. So without further ado, let's jump into it. That was cooler in my head. Alright, so this first design is very based on my ideas for what the lush caves are going to be like and what I'm expecting to see from them. We haven't gotten a snapshot with them yet, or at least I'm not aware of one if we have. But a lot of this is stuff that I really want to see in the lush cave update. I added a lot of like vines and some areas like this over here. We have a lot of like the mossy blocks. We have the little flowers that I've hidden away to give like the nice particle effects for like around the cave. So since this is kind of like a base building type deal, I made a few things that you kind of need in every base, and each one of these, one of which is a farm. So I took this little bit of abandoned mine structure and kind of tucked it away in here. I planted beetroots because they're nice and colorful. Not exactly the best thing, but if they were going to do the best thing, it'd be potatoes. Let's be real here. So one of the big parts of what I would really want to do with a lush cave is build like a giant tree in there. I'm not the best at building trees. I'm best at building bigger trees than this. This one was a little bit small. So I think that trees, especially like with this new like leaf type, looks really, really cool. Especially like underground trees are just amazing to like look at. Like it's just like a really cool concept and idea in my opinion. So the base part of this that I did, I was originally going to build it in the tree's roots, which is why it's a little bit messed up over there. But instead, I built it over here in this little like mine shaft area. So I terraformed a little bit of this and made it go a little bit back here. So pretty basic. I didn't do any like interior stuff for this video since I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. If you are, I really like doing interior stuff. So I'd be willing to share a few things that I'd like to do a lot. So I kind of just terraformed this area, made it look like a lot prettier, especially like with waterfalls and stuff. Always looks really good with like natural life. I had some axolotls in here. I don't know what happened to them. They were like really cute as well. They kept like bugging out and like swimming up the walls. So it was really fun to watch. But I have no clue where they've gone. Oop, that's spoilers. But yes, this is my first idea for like a lush cave design with some like mine rails and everything. So without further ado, to the next design. Alright, so here is the next design that I did. This one is a little bit smaller. As you can see, we don't have these guys in the world yet, so I did my best at what I think that they're going to look like and built a home accordingly. These kinds of houses give me like Dungeons and Dragons, not houses, area and like biomes. It gives me kind of like Dungeons and Dragons or like, what is it? Wizard. There's a wizard named Gandalf, Lord of the Rings. It gives me like Lord of the Rings kind of vibes. Like it just like looks really cool. Like this looks like it should be like a dragon's lair. So I built like a little like hobbit hole. I forgot to put stuff inside of it, but the concept's all there is kind of what I was trying to get at with this one. This is like kind of like a clothing rack or like a drying rack. I usually do like these in campsites. They look really good there. Fires and stuff. And then I did like a little like wheat field over here just to give some like little like natural area to it. So yeah, that is my idea for like the little stalactites moon. I want to do like a bigger version of this once it actually comes out, but since the biome's not out yet, it's kind of hard to like imagine what it looks like. Also, I love like this like rooted dirt right here. It looks so nice. Like it's just like, it's like pink dirt. Pink dirt. I never know what I needed it, but I need it. It's great. So on to the next area. So this is probably the second favorite design I've done for this. My first, the favorite one's being saved for last just because I think it turned out amazing. But one of the best parts about like underground and cave stuff is like the fossils that's coming with the new update. So I figured that what would be really cool is to have like a dragon like inside of the caves, since we know that there are dragons in Minecraft. What's to say that they weren't here earlier, you know? So I built a giant dragon and put some like chests and beds inside of it. This is very much like starter bases, like all of these, except for the last one. I went a little bit overboard on that one. That's more of like a hermitcraft starter base, if you know what I mean. So this one is just kind of like a dragon starter base. We have like, again, with like the Hobbity, like Lord of the Rings type area. We just have some like areas. This is kind of like the front door. So your friends get here and they walk through the front door. Ah, you live inside a dragon, I see. But I didn't do very much with this one just because there's not a lot of space in the area that I picked, but I really liked it because of like the giant chasm down here. I thought that it was very fitting. I wanted originally to do like a giant one over the chasm, but that was just a failure and a half. Hello, Mr. Spider. Oh, he walked away. How rude. But yeah, so this is probably my second favorite design, and I'll probably be doing this on like a much larger scale a little bit later. So until then, let's get on to the final biome. All right, welcome to the final cave idea. So when I first heard about like the caves update, the first thing that like I really wanted to see was like a lot of like mushrooms or like underground kind of like plants and like wildlife, vegetation, crystals especially were something that I really wanted to see that I don't think that we're going to be getting. But crystals were mostly because I wanted a new light source. Good lord, I need a new light source. Oh my god, there's one of my axolotls. Hello. Where are you going? Where are you off to? I love them so much. They're so buggy. But so one of the big things that I really thought was be really cool with the underground caves would be like giant like mushroom areas. So I built like massive mushrooms around here to just kind of like give it like a fantasy kind of like cottagecore type feel. So I built like this really crappy bridge to bring you over to it. And yeah, there's not really, actually there's quite a bit to this area. So a lot of these mushrooms would look better like if like I just transformed them like this. It's kind of the same way that I do trees, but it turned out a lot better on the mushroom than the tree that I built, surprisingly. So with like big areas like this, especially with like big plants and stuff, you're gonna want like smaller ones to counter them out. So the thing about mushrooms is that like end rods with just like one block on top of them looks really good for like small cute little mushrooms. And these guys you can just grow like the normal Minecraft mushrooms if you have some podzol like over here and some bone meal with like a normal mushroom. You can grow that pretty easily. So a big part about this area that I wanted to like emphasize is kind of like being like deep underground, like in like all the resources that are kind of around. So one of them would be like a bunch of like water with like these like weird plants growing out of them. I love these, by the way. They look so nice, like small. The big ones look all right, but not nearly as cool. So the best part about this, in my opinion, is the waterfall areas. So like just like looking at that right there is just gorgeous with like the mushrooms and everything and like the new like dripstones just like kind of like around like the outside. Built another mushroom back here, but that was just for like lighting reasons. But yeah, I think that like all of like the wells and stuff look really good. Oh, here's another one. This is what I did for my farm this time. So I built like a little guy, had like a few mushrooms hanging over him, a few more of like the moss pads and like scales. Oh, I forgot to put carrots there. Oh well. But I just thought that the carrots looked really nice in this area. Like I usually actually choose like the vegetables that like I grow depending on like how they look in a certain area. So it's just kind of like fun to see. So like as I said before, normal mushrooms, a really good like light source in these is the shroom lights. Shroom lights look really nice, especially with like mushrooms and stuff if you put like red carpet over the top of them. Whoops, wrong block, but you kind of get the gist. But yeah, they look really nice if you just put some red carpet over the top. It's like hide it and stuff, which is something also like speaking of hiding stuff, moss block, new favorite block. Love it so much. It looks so good with like grass and things. And then to top like off this like area and make it like feel like an actual like homely area, I built this little house in the middle. I thought that it was really cute, little cottagecore type area. It's actually a fairly big house. It could have been 3 stories if I wanted to, plus any space that you use underneath. I didn't put anything inside this house. As you can see, it's barren and boring. But I was more excited with building mushrooms at the time than I was actually building a house. So yeah, and my favorite part about this is it looks good from like every angle. Like I can't find like an angle that like it looks bad at. Like, maybe up here, but like, nope, still looks good from up here. This is upsetting. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video and enjoyed a few of the cave ideas that I came up with. If you guys want to see some more cave ideas or some new blocks using the new like packs or something, or any challenges that you want to see me try, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.